Health Break, brought to you by CHI St. Joseph Health.
Many of us still have questions about the COVID-19 vaccine and when we can receive it. With some answers, here is Dr. Amanda Smith.
The vaccine works by tricking your body into forming an immune response against a protein that lives on the capsule of the COVID-19 virus. At this point, the first priority groups include healthcare workers and long-term care facilities. So once we vaccinate those high-risk groups, then the next priority group will be individuals over age 70 and essential frontline workers. I strongly recommend the vaccine that folks would get it at their earliest opportunity. Plan on getting 2 doses, either 3 weeks or 4 weeks apart. We have very good safety data thus far, and the effectiveness data is excellent. It's around 95%, which for any vaccine is very good.
For more information, go to chistjosephhealth.org. I'm Beverly Herbert.
Kids, we gotta go back home. I think I left the oven on. Yay! Don't worry, guys. I got the GE Kitchen Appliance app right here on my phone. I got it at Appliance Pro. The oven is officially off.
Movies, movies, movies!
Family owned and locally operated, Appliance Pro has the largest selection of GE appliances in central Kentucky. And remember, if it's scratch and dent, save up to 50%. Appliance Pro, Lexington.
Count on LEX 18 News.
As conditions change quickly tonight, our LEX 18 Storm Tracker team is on the ground working to keep you informed. This is a live look on New Circle Road. Ice and snow creating treacherous conditions throughout the evening. Our extended Storm Tracker coverage starts now. Good evening, I'm Nancy Cox.
And I'm Angie Bevan. Thanks for sticking with us for our extended winter storm coverage. Kentuckians are urged to stay home if they can tonight to avoid slick roads and overall dangerous conditions.
If you must go out, it's important to be extra cautious. We'll check in with our LEX 18 mobile cam on New Circle Road in just a few moments. But first, we begin with Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck with the latest on this storm.
The most intense part of the storm for a lot of us has gone by. And for a while, I mean, that sleet was intense. But still, we have freezing rain and sleet ongoing. We're getting transitions to snow now to our west and southwest. That's going to come through over the next few hours. So the storm may have hit its peak and we're on the back side, but there's still more to go through here. With that, you still have winter storm warnings covering most of the area. The ice storm warning is still in effect, although it's really you go back a couple of counties. So Estill, Jackson, Millward, Owsley, and Lee, where you're seeing the greatest effect from that. In fact, from the Mountain Parkway to the Hal Rogers Parkway, east of I-75 is where we're seeing the greatest amount of freezing rain. A lot of the rest of us, there's been some freezing rain mixed in, but it's been mostly sleet, and all that has to do with the thickness of the warm air aloft. I mean, that's plain and simple what it comes down to. But for the ice storm, where it's at its worst, we had a report out of McCreary County of about 1/3 of an inch of ice. Officially out of both London and Jackson, they're at 1/4 inch of ice. So that's what's fallen so far, and there still is more coming. So there is your ice storm. The freezing rain, sleet, and snow, it's the hodgepodge of weather. Take your pick. We've had a little bit of all three of them falling around Lexington and central Kentucky on up to the northeast as well. By the time it's all done, 2 to 5 inches snow and sleet combination. So far in Lexington, at least as of 4:30, we were at 1.5 inches. So we are a 1/2 inch away from verifying that total. The ice, 1/10 of an inch, maybe falling in some places, 1/3 of an inch where there may be a burst somewhere, but that's going to be more the exception than the rule. And then mostly snow up along the I-71 corridor up to the north and northwest. So on our Max Track Doppler, there's a break right now in the southeast. It is changing to rain along the far southeast corner. You go along then the Mountain Parkway here, and this is predominantly sleet then from Campton to Frenchburg. We're likely coming down at a pretty good pace back up to Moorhead and Owingsville. Flemingsburg are getting in on that as well. A transition to a little rain south of the Hal Rogers, but another burst of rain and maybe some snow beginning to mix in now, coming up through the Lake Cumberland area, and this is just some light sleet we have right now around Lexington, back toward Versailles and on to the north. Future track, yeah, we've got at least a few more hours, but by around 9 o'clock, transitioning to snow, and it could come down at a pretty good clip for an hour or two, and then it goes away. We'll talk about that and the cold in a few minutes.
All right, Bill, thank you. Well, maybe you're missing Keith Farmer tonight on BBN Tonight. He is operating our LEX 18 mobile cam, and he is traveling along New Circle Road in LEX 18. There we go, in the LEX 18 mobile cam there. Hoping we were going to get to see that. So, again, he's been traveling around New Circle Road tonight. He's been keeping an eye on the road conditions. As you can see here, it looks like you can see a little bit of the road. You can tell where the crews have been able to use the plows and get some of that sleet that's built up and some of the snow off the roads. But it looks like a little bit is coming down right now. So certainly be cautious if you do head out or if you need to get out this evening. We will continue our extended storm tracker coverage with Carolina Buchek. She is at Lexington Green on Nicholasville Road.
Carolina, you've been there most of the afternoon and you've seen things change. How are conditions looking right now?
Well, it is definitely colder out right now, and it feels like it's more wet right now. Earlier we had that really heavy sleet and you felt like little balls of ice were just pelting at you. Now it just feels like very, very cold rain, and actually I'm looking down at my jacket right now and it appears to be freezing on me. My hair is wet. Actually, no correction, it is frozen. So we're definitely seeing some freezing happening right now. It feels worse than that heavy sleet that we saw maybe 2 hours ago now. As far as road conditions, well, take a look. This is Nicholasville Road. This is one of the most traveled roads here in Lexington. Plows have been consistently going past here, really trying to clear as much as they can. Is this road perfect? No, it is far from ideal, but it is doable if you take it slow. And for the most part, we are seeing people drive relatively cautiously down this road. So everyone is doing their part. Everyone is taking this seriously, and we have seen a big reduction in the amount of traffic that we saw. Earlier on, around 4:30, we saw quite a bit of traffic, and that must have been that commute home, everyone trying to get home. Now it's relatively empty, minus a few cars every now and then, so not too bad. Keep in mind, though, this is a main road, so this is the condition of a main road right now. Those side roads, that is where things can get tricky, and that is where LEX 18's Kristen Edwards picks up our team coverage.
It's a double whammy for Lexington neighborhoods today. Cheryl Galt is digging out from the snow that came down overnight, knowing she'll be at it again after the second wave hits. But she knows what she's doing. It's all strategy.
It's easier if you take off the one layer instead of trying to, if we're going to get sleet, it's going to get really, really heavy, and then it'll be really hard to get. So if you take off the powdered stuff right now, it's a lot easier to clean up later.
For the rest of tonight, she's hunkering down and wishing for the best.
I'm just hoping that the power lines don't go, the power doesn't go. I've got my fingers crossed for that.
Come on, Ralph. Jenny Dearden and her dog are waiting out the storm at home too, because the street in front of their house has a reputation of not handling winter weather well.
This will be a skating rink, and most people get kind of stuck down at the bottom and have a hard time getting up at the top.
But if you have to brave the roads like Michael Rogers did earlier this morning, taking it slow will be a must, especially if you're on a road that doesn't get plowed.
We always get forgotten on Lady Di Lane. So as for the city, please help us out.
You can see whether you're on the city's snowplow list at lexingtonky.gov. Search for the city's snow and ice control plan. There you will find a map where you can look for your street to see where it falls on the priority list and whether or not it will be plowed. In Lexington, Kristen Edwards, LEX 18 News.
Conroy DeLuche and Catherine Collins are monitoring conditions in other areas outside of Fayette County. So let's first go to Conroy, who's live to our east in Mount Sterling. Conroy, what's the latest there?
Well, Nancy, my standards for what feels comfortable and what does not have been diminished today. This right now, compared to 2 hours ago, feels amazing. The sleet has mostly stopped. You can see there's still a little bit of precipitation, but I can actually face the sky and it doesn't hurt. But I will turn over to what is the concern, which is this. It's the ice. The ice on this one bush has increased significantly since we've been out here this morning. That has also happened on tree limbs across the county and across most of Kentucky. In fact, I got off the phone with the emergency management director a little bit ago. He said the concern right now is power, and so far they had up to 650 homes in Jeffersonville out because of broken tree limbs falling onto power lines. But now that number has lowered to about 200, so that's good news. Of course, as it continues to freeze tonight, that could continue to change. So that's one issue. The other issue, of course, the roads. We're going to go over to my right. As you can see, actually a car is getting towed off the road right now, but it looks like they're moving, so that has nothing to do with the weather, but they are taking it slow, which is good. I-64, you can see right there the off-ramp going off on 110. That has not been treated probably in the last 30 minutes or so. A lot is accumulated on there. The one lane on I-64 heading east looks okay. Now looking to our west, those lanes also look somewhat clear. And that's because crews have been out treating them all day. You can see a truck coming down the way right now. Cars are taking it slow. Traffic has decreased a tremendous amount since the last time we went live at 5:30. So that's the good news. The city roads, the county roads, those are mostly clear. We've been talking with the emergency management director about that situation. We did also find one snowplow driver earlier this morning. He helps to clear out gas station parking lots, things like that. Probably a place like our station to make sure that we can get in and out of work safely. And he said people really need to be cautious of those trucks as they're on the roads.
If you see a truck out here with lights on, please give us respect, and I mean, we're out here trying to keep you guys safe. We like to be safe and stuff like that.
And we thank those crews for keeping us safe, whether they are private contractors, city, state, or county workers. And we did just see an ambulance go by. Luckily, the lane is clear enough for that ambulance to go safely by. So we're going to continue to monitor I-64. It sounds like we'll have another update for you coming up in a few hours. I'll be in touch with you guys online via social media or on our website, LEX18.com, with anything that goes on in Montgomery County or close by. But that's it for us for now. Live in Montgomery County, Conroy DeLuche, LEX 18 News. Let's go back to you.
All right, Conroy, thanks so much. And those road maintenance crews are doing their best to keep up with conditions in Jessamine County after hours of sleet there. Essential businesses doing their best to make sure that people have what they need ahead of this storm. Catherine Collins is live there right now with a live look at those conditions.
Well, Angie, this is, sorry, we had a car just come very close to us. That's very dangerous. Let's not do that. But we are just off 27 here, and this is that main road in Nicholasville, and it actually is in pretty good shape. We just a few minutes ago saw a plow drive by clearing this road, but road crews continue to ask people to please stay home if at all possible. But earlier, we saw a lot of people coming out to this pharmacy behind me to get those medications that they need before having to stay home, possibly for a couple days. And cars went through the drive-through and phones were ringing off the hook here as employees told us they wanted to make sure that they were open during their regular hours so people were able to get their medication before they potentially are stuck at home over the next few days. They also offer free delivery here, and Jonathan Roller, an employee here, told me he was willing to drop off medication to anyone in need of it free of charge.
I would much rather go out than have them try to come out, especially some of our older patients. Getting out on this would be a horrible idea.
Now, Roller also told us that they'll be back tomorrow. They're hoping to do regular hours again. They want to make sure people that need their medications are able to. He said he'll also be offering that delivery service tomorrow as well. I also just spoke to Sergeant Grimes with Nicholasville Police. He told me road crews are starting to get to those side roads now. So that's good news. But again, the advice is please stay home if you're able. For now, live in Nicholasville, Catherine Collins will send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Catherine, thanks. And a reminder, coverage of the winter storm doesn't stop when we're not on the air. You can also follow the latest developments on our website at LEX18.com. And be sure to download our free LEX 18 News app on your smartphone for weather updates on the go. And Bill will have your full forecast when our extended storm tracker coverage returns.
BBN Tonight is brought to you by CHI St. Joseph Health.
You faithfully pay your insurance premium, but do you really know what insurance you have? Are you really protected? If you've been injured, know your rights. Speak to an experienced attorney at Kaufman & Stigger to get all the money you deserve. Go to getthethiger.com.
Everyone's buzzing about buying local. With the recent bee shortage, I'm keeping a colony of bees right in my backyard. The bees that made this honey were cared for and given the attention they needed. That's why UK Federal Credit Union should be your local bank.
St. Joseph Health has been a leader in cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment for nearly 40 years. And now, we're proud to announce our affiliation with Cleveland Clinic Cancer Center, a global leader in cancer care. That means you'll have access to Cleveland Clinic's cancer expertise and second opinion right here in Central Kentucky. Our calling goes beyond service. It's a call to help you win your battle with cancer. At CHI St. Joseph Health, we've been called to serve.
Whoa! The Kentucky Lottery's Cash 5 Daily Draw Game. Choose your numbers 1 to 15. One number wins it every 4 minutes. Play Cash Pop. Maybe your lucky number will win you some scratch.
During uncertain times, we can count on a best friend and a warm heat and glow Menneson wood or gas fireplace. Come see my best friend, Geronimo, and the experts at Fireplace Concepts, and let us show you why home is where the hearth is. Take that mask off, silly.
Furniture World Superstore celebrates their 50th year with a President's Day sale like no other. Low holiday prices on Kentucky's biggest and best furniture and mattress selection. Beautiful looks for every room. Unmistakable style. All at historic savings. Plus, enjoy no interest for up to 48 months. It's a President's Day sale not to be missed. Going on now at Furniture World Superstore. Celebrating 50 years in Kentucky.
Come see the difference family makes at Furniture World Superstore.
Find your perfect match at Don Franklin Somerset Kia. Drive away in the all-new 2021 Kia K5 LX for only $299 per month. Or get the all-new 2021 Kia Sorento LX for only $369 per month. Hurry into Don Franklin Kia, now at stoplight number 2 in Somerset.
When you call Kaufman & Stigger, you're going to get to speak to an actual attorney.
We'll be able to tell you right away what your options are, because you're not talking to some staff person, you're talking to somebody that has years of experience.
If you've been injured in an accident, get the Tiger on your side.
It is still a winter storm in progress. We have the next phase that we're going to go through here as we go through the next few hours, which is going to be a changeover to some snow. And that would normally elicit a few cheers, but the snow on top of the ice is not going to be necessarily a good combination. We are looking at the winter storm warning covering pretty much most of the area. The ice storm warning is, the worst case for the ice right now is between the Hal Rogers and the Mountain Parkway, although some of it does extend down into Whitley and McCreary counties, although we're going to begin to see that change over to just plain rain, at least for a little while. But winter storm warnings are up because we got more stuff coming. Officially in Lexington, we're at 1.8 inches of snow and sleet. So yesterday it was 2 to 6, and we knocked that back an inch on the overall snow sleet accumulation. So we're pretty close to verifying at this point with that final burst. We should get there. But it's been a mixture of freezing rain and sleet and snow. It's the weather mess. It's a smorgasbord of winter stuff. With the sleet and the ice, the freezing rain, we are getting a little glazing on stuff. So a tenth to a third of an inch in that area shaded in orange. That would be from Mount Sterling up to Flemingsburg, as Conroe was talking about there in Mount Sterling. Back toward Danville and Springfield. More to the south and east, it's been more freezing rain, but there has been some areas of sleet, some pretty good ones out of Madison County coming in from around Berea. In terms of the ice amounts out of London and Jackson, we saw both official reports from the National Weather Service. Both so far have been at a quarter inch of freezing rain. And then snow across the northwestern parts. And that has been having some sleet mixed in, but we're going to see snow to finish things off. On the Max Track Doppler. So again, pretty good coverage of stuff. We're getting a lull right now south of the Mountain Parkway in eastern Kentucky, but that will be short-lived. But still a pretty good amount of sleet coming down Frenchburg, Owensville back over to Moore. There may be some freezing rain mixed in with that as well. On up to Flemingsburg and Carlisle. Paris, you've got a pretty good burst in progress. Corbin right now is close to the transition line. Williamsburg, you're going to be right on that border as well, headed up Jellicoe. Look out towards Somerset. It's back to the sleet and a little freezing rain, but then a transition to snow is beginning to take place out along, say, Highway 55. You're looking at from Springfield on over to Lebanon, getting to the south of the Bluegrass Parkway, and the next wave is now coming into Lexington. part of what's been going on today and why I think we're not going to quite get to the top numbers, and we've seen this happen in winter storms before, is that we had big thunderstorms fire up here along the Gulf. In fact, tornadic storm potential was there. You see the tornado watch. What that does, though, that's your moisture feed. And so as it's trying to come north on the conveyor belt, that robs some of the moisture out. And so we saw these dry patches begin to open up. And now we're at the tail end of the storm. This is the back edge. This is the upper level system. So Nashville over toward eastern Tennessee, we're going to see that transition and a burst over to snow. In fact, we're seeing snow now back toward Louisville and back toward Bowling Green. We will see that continue to press eastward so that we're around 9 o'clock, and we'll be on Facebook Live at that point, among some other places. But you're seeing that switch over happen to snow, and likely when it does happen, it'll be great big flakes coming down. So may end up being very pretty and put an icing on the weather cake that we have out there. 10, 11 o'clock, we'll be seeing that wind down. By midnight and beyond, it goes away. And so it gets out of here fairly quickly. So what we have been seeing throughout the day today is the warm air aloft has been dictating what you see at the ground. Rain far southeast will have the warm air all the way down to the surface. We've seen freezing rain in the southeast. That's where the warm air aloft is fairly thick. And so it just falls as a raindrop and freezes on everything else. We've had sleet most of the day, and at times that sleet came down hard. You are looking at that area where the warm air aloft is narrow. It would have been wonderful to have cold all the way from the cloud to the ground and it be nothing but snow, but obviously that was not in the cards. Temperatures are continuing to warm, mid-20s now. Black Mountain again shows you the warm air aloft. Look at Pike County spiked up into the low 40s. That's 2,500 feet up. Freeze line right now runs from London to Somerset over to Hazard, so along Highway 80 over into the Hal Rogers Parkway. 23 right now at the Bluegrass Airport. Northeast wind at 9. Your wind chill comes in at 13. Winter storm warning, ice storm warning, freezing rain, sleet, ending as snow. But boy, it gets cold. Headed down to the mid-teens tonight. A few early flurries. Look at the cold day tomorrow. That is 25 degrees below normal. As we look ahead for you, you're talking temperatures staying cold on Wednesday as the next batch of winter weather arrives. Could we do this all over again Wednesday night and Thursday? Stay tuned, boys and girls.
BBN Tonight, presented locally by G&J Pepsi. Local products, global brands.
Don't miss Ashley Home Store's President's Day weekend sale. Friday through Monday only. Save up to 25% off store-wide. Plus 0% interest for 12 months. Or get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. 4 days only at Ashley Home Store.
At Kentucky Bank, we're committed to keeping you safe when you bank with us. And we're committed to helping our communities with these difficult times. This is Jerry's Restaurant in my hometown of Paris, and they got their paycheck protection loan through Kentucky Bank. When I was calling high school games here, Jerry's is where you came after the game, and it's nice to know that can still happen. Making our local community stronger is what Kentucky Bank is all about. That's why we say Kentucky Bank. Call it home.
When you have glasses, it seems like you're always touching your face, and with contact lenses, it's even worse and greatly increases your chance of getting viruses and infections. Fix the problem, get all laser LASIK with Able Eyes. Quick, painless, and affordable. Contact Able Eyes today to schedule your free consultation.
Sticky notes are part of our daily lives, and people have found some pretty creative uses for them. As Kentucky's insurance company, we appreciate the resourcefulness and the fact that billions of sticky notes are made each year right here in the Commonwealth. And we think that's something Kentuckians find pretty noteworthy. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
It's about time to watch on your time. Streaming local news 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.
For 4 days only at Ashley Home Store's President's Day weekend sale. Save up to 30% off on doorbusters, like this sofa, now only $399. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. Friday through Monday only at Ashley Home Store.
While the focus is on this massive storm right now, we also want to check today's coronavirus report.
The governor announced 723 new cases today, which he says could have been impacted by the weather. That's relatively low. He also reported 9 additional deaths. Today's report marks 5 weeks of declining cases for the first time since the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Kentucky back in March of 2020. The positivity rate is 6.57%. We're back after this.
BBN Tonight, presented locally by the Law Office of Jeremy A. Bartley. Don't get treated like a number, get treated like family. And by Kentucky Bank, supporting Big Blue Nation. Call Kentucky Bank home.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck. We've been watching a winter storm plowing through the area today with snow, sleet, and freezing rain. We're getting close to the end. We'll talk about what we're expecting coming up tonight on LEX 18 News at 11.
For the first time in Honda's history, Honda has 0% financing for 60 months on new SUVs and trucks. 0% for 60 months. That's 5 full years of zero interest. Search your local Honda dealer today.
How hard is it to catch a crispy, flaky fish? Depends on how patient you are and what pocket you keep $6 in. Arby's fish sandwiches are now 2 for $6 and part of Arby's everyday value. Arby's, we have the meat.
If you've been in a car crash, I'll go to war for you.
You see a lot of ads for a lot of lawyers, some promising they'll hit your case hard or fight like a wild animal for you. Some look like they're local when they're not. But when you call the law office of Jeremy A. Bartley, you'll get a team right here in Kentucky. We know the area because our families live here too, and we'll fight for you like you're our family. If you've been involved in an accident, don't get treated like a number. Get treated like family. Call the law office of Jeremy A. Bartley.
How did you put that cat face on me?
It's a filter. I can make you look like a dog, too.
Well, I just got the new mobile app from Monticello Bank. They've completely updated it. It's more secure. I can pay bills. I can even deposit checks just by taking a picture.
Wow, that's cooler than a cat filter.
Grandpa still knows a thing or two.
So, can you transfer some money into my money market account?
What's in Zaxby's new General Tso's sauce? Legendary chicken, legendary sauce. The new General Tso's boneless wings, only at Zaxby's. Redeem rewards, scan to pay, and order ahead on the Zaxby's app.
It has taken over 70 years for Honda to offer it. Announcing 0% financing for 60 months on new SUVs and trucks. 0% for 60 months. That's no interest for the life of your loan. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Here's what's on LEX 18 tonight. Sponsored by your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers. Chevy is here to help put you in a new Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Chevy is here for you.
Keep it here for your Storm Tracker weather coverage, but for now, good night.
LEX 18, it's about time we fit into your schedule. Streaming local news 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.